Not imposed? Did you really say not imposed? What if you reject this offer? What have you been told for centuries by Christians? If you reject this offer that took place by means of a torture to death of a human being that you didn't want and should have prevented, if you could. What if you reject the offer? If you accept it, you can have eternal life and your sins are forgiven. Oh, great. What a horrible way to abolish your own responsibility and get your own bliss. I don't want it. Oh, you don't? Well, then you can go to hell. This is not imposed. This hasn't been preached to children by gruesome elderly virgins backed by force for centuries. This hasn't poisoned whole societies. No, of course it's not voluntary. The Pope of Rome, as I call the Bishop of Rome, Mr. Herr Ratzinger, has recently said, actually, it's worse than that. Only my version of Christianity can get you salvation. And there is only one way. I say it in Georgetown. There's only one. You presumably don't believe that because you're an Anglican. But on what basis do you tell the Pope that he's a heretic? Once you grant this stuff, once you start with this white noise chat about redemption, where is it going to end? Of course there's nothing voluntary about it.
Christianity is saying, look, here is an offer. It is yours to accept or not. I take it you do not believe in hell or anything like that, and therefore I don't see what the difficulty is for you personally. It is not about imposition.
You're in the right church but the wrong pew. I mean, of course I've emancipated myself from all that nonsense. I wish you would do too. I'm saying, what is the belief? And when you say it's voluntary, it's up to you, it's entirely optional. I don't think it's any more optional than Abraham saying to his son, do you want to come for a long and gloomy walk? Because God seems to be telling me to do something that had better be moral. Otherwise, it would have to be said that God had taken a perfectly normal person and asked him to commit an atrocity. Now, where else could that have come from? And millions of people every year celebrate this act of sadomasochism, as if it proved that God loved us so much that he'd make us kill our own children, and then he decides to love us so much he'll kill one of his own. You said, in a debate with Richard Dawkins, I have it down, you said the great thing about God is he knows what it's like to lose a son. Now, I want you ladies and gentlemen to ponder that expression for just a minute. First, it's self-evidently, if the story is true, which I don't think it is, it's self-evidently not the case, even in the narrative. He doesn't lose a son. He lends one. He doesn't offer one because no one's demanded it. There's no problem that has so far been identified in the human species that demands a human sacrifice. For what problem, for what ill is this a cure? There's no argument, there's no evidence. No, it's imposed upon you. I'm doing this because the prophets said I would. And I'm going to have the boy tortured to death in public to fulfill ancient screeds of Bronze Age Judaism. But wait, I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't feel better for it. I feel very uneasy about it. Well, that's a pity, because then you're going to be cast into eternal fire. This is no way to talk. I don't like to be addressed in that tone of voice. So I have all this, I have to return a slight non-serviam, if I may be so bold, and take my chances morally. That's the more ethical thing to do. Don't want torture, don't want human sacrifice, don't want authoritarian bloodlettings, smoking temples and altars, incantations of priests and around all that. Don't want it, can't think of a single thing it will make better about our,
Let me see if Professor
our
McGrath
veil of tears. Oh yes, by all means.
Yes.
Sorry if I bang on a bit about this.